It means at the Village Church, we are going to be serious about seeking and finding gifted, godly, ferocious persons of color for legitimate power, preaching, and seats of not just voice, but shaping of culture at TBC. This has not been easy. It has not been quick. We have failed often. We have stumbled forward, oftentimes with bloody knees and tearful eyes. To give an illustration of this, just most recently, the Village Church is in the process of rolling off our multi-site campuses to be autonomous churches. Another talk for another day, but we feel this has been wrought by the Spirit of God through a lot of prayer and seeking the face of God. It's not a slight on that ecclesiology. It's just we feel like the Lord's wanting to do something different with us. And we have struggled to find men who can be a campus pastor for a season and lead into being the pastor of an autonomous church down in Dallas and out in Fort Worth. And so we've been looking and having conversations, and I have called every African-American man I know and went, who you got? Here's what I need. How do I, help me, right? I've got a lot of white friends, but what I would love to just say, here's 2,000 people in an $11 million building, go lead them. And so one of the firms that's helping us find men said, let me ask you a question, Pastor Matt. If we find an Anglo 8 and an African-American 7, which one do you want? I said, I want the African-American 7. And he said, what if we find an Anglo 8 and an African-American 6? And I said, then give me the Anglo 8, because the African-American 6 will look and feel to our people like the kind of tokenism that I'm preaching against.
Grace and peace. You know, I'm old enough to remember when Matt Chandler did this sermon and talked about, the Anglo and the African-American 8 and all that kind of stuff like that. And, I'm actually that old. So, I mean, I know it was like 100,000 years ago. It seemed like actually it was only 5. But I was like, man, I wonder how Matt is doing on this. And I went down a little rabbit trail of looking at Matt Chandler's church, the Village Church. Now, granted, I do understand that the church he's referring to was going to be some satellite churches that were not a part of his immediate church network. I'm sorry, they were being rolled off of his church network. But I just wondered, I wonder how he's doing with his own, applying this at the Village Church. So I went to the Village Church's website and pulled up their leaders, and I was a little bit surprised. First of all, I was surprised that they have almost 120 people on staff to some degree, shape, or form. Now, I don't know if these are paid positions, but there's quite a few people on staff. Yeah, you already know where I'm going with this. You probably already know. So let's just take a second, and we're going to look at the Village Church and their leaders. So this is the Village Church's website. I'm just going to scroll. Because remember, Matt was making a lot of hay about, the Angloid versus the black man. I just want you to look. Now, I realize that there's a high possibility that some of these people that we're looking at, maybe they're of a different ethnicity. Maybe they're Hispanic. Maybe they're a Latino or something of that nature. It's very, very possible. However, I think you all are noticing something as well. There's not a lot of black or Hispanic or brown people of color on Matt's staff at all. There's not. I think when I went through and looked, I counted 9 that I could tell. Now, of course, I'm not playing the game, so I'm not playing the partiality game. If this is the congregation, that's the congregation that you have. It is what it is. However, since Matt made so much noise about it, you'd kind of think that he would kind of try to diversify his own staff. You don't see that at all. This staff is extremely one-sided, one ethnicity, if you will. Now, granted, again, there are a few people in there, but not many at all. And this is the last of them right there. Now, I don't know where Valley Mount, Texas is. Maybe they're extremely one-sided, mono-ethnic or whatnot. But remember, Matt Chandler made all this noise about that. Matt Chandler is the one that started that. I just thought it was really interesting. I just kind of expected that he would have been really going hard in the paint to diversify his leadership team or those persons that serve and volunteer. And I don't see that. I don't see that. I see a lot of people that look a lot alike Matt. I just think it's very interesting because he really made a lot of hay about that. And if you look here, where are they? Where's the diversity? Where is it, Matt? I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know if maybe you see it. Again, I understand that there's a highly probability that there are people that maybe don't look white or whatever like that. I'm perfectly fine with that. But keep in mind, this was Matt's standard. The other thing is, I do want to stop here. Matt's church has female deacons. That's weird. Now, granted, I didn't see any female pastors or ministers, but a female deacon, I think that's kind of like an elder, isn't it? I didn't see any female elders, by the way. But because a deacon can be an elder. Because if you meet the qualification for a deacon, you also are qualified to be an elder, considering that you're able to teach. How do they have female deacons? What is that? I thought that was interesting. I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the bottom in the comment section. Hey, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe Matt doesn't hold this standard at his church, or maybe Jay said, hey, that was only for church plants or whatever like that. I'm fine with it. Just let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment down below and let's talk about it there. Until next time, everybody, grace and peace.